Pepin is a man of boundless and seemingly inexhaustible energy. He's author of 7 books, countless magazine and newspaper articles, and hosts his own television programs. Not only a master chef, but a master teacher, Jacques is Dean of Studies at the French Culinary Institute in New York, a highly regarded professional instructor and lecturer on gastronomy at Boston University, and he's constantly teaching and demonstrating his technical virtuosity. When you're a professional cook, he says, you become a good craftsman first. You repeat and repeat and repeat until your hands know exactly what to do without you having to think about it. Chef Jacques is about to teach us his thoroughly modern version of a splendid French classic, a vol au vent of braised sweetbreads in a truffled Madeira sauce. He will show us in detail the making of puff pastry and his ingenious method of forming a puff pastry crust, a vol au vent. Then we're to witness the care, feeding, and braising of sweetbreads and how to deal with a large, black, fresh French truffle. And finally, how to make a really great sauce. This is definitely a dish for those who love to cook or who love to eat when somebody else cooks it. First, the puff pastry. Here it is raw. It looks just like a plain piece of pastry dough. And here it is baked. It puffs up in the oven because of the way it is rolled out, folded up, and rolled out and folded up until it consists of hundreds of paper-thin layers of dough sandwiched between hundreds of paper-thin layers of butter. Here's the way Jacques Pepin makes his.
We're going to do a puff paste, a classic puff paste, and that you can use for hundreds of different things. Flour, this is all-purpose flour, and the different flour will indicate different type of gluten. This is the whole-purpose flour. Butter, water. This is basically a dash of salt in it. We start with a pound of flour, and as you can see, I dip that directly into the bin, and I come out with 3 cups of flour. 3 cups of flour is a pound of flour if you take it the way I'm taking it. So I have a pound of flour here, a little dash of salt, and now I put some water in it, and I start with about a good cup of water. It depends where you are, depending whether it's very humid or it's very dry, and that will determine the amount of moisture in there. So you want a dough first, and I need a little more water here. Okay. Until it practically forms into a ball, and we're going to roll that on the table, and I have 3/4 of a pound of butter here. So I need a little bit of flour to roll that into a large rectangle, approximately 3/8 of an inch thick. A rolling pin, there is different type of rolling pin. I tend to go toward that type of rolling pin, which is straight, equal size all over. But believe me, if you were to do a big puff paste, like 2 or 3 pounds of puff paste, you'll probably get one with ball bearing, you know, a larger one. So I spread this out about 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to arrange my butter on 2/3 of the dough. And I have 3 sticks of butter. Each of those sticks of butter here have been cut into 4 pieces, meaning that I have 6 pieces of butter this way. You want to be, not quite up to the edge. And what I do at that point is to take 1/3 of the dough which is not covered, cover that on top, and bring that back on the other end. So now I have already started the process of puff paste. This is what the process of puff paste is to put layer of bread dough if you want, layer of butter or fat. What happens is that when you put it in the oven, the liquid that you put in the bread dough is going to develop into steam. But of course, you have all of those layers of butter, which are going, in a sense, to waterproof the dough. So it's going to start pushing and developing in the multi-layer effect of what we call puff paste. So I break it like this and extend it to, again, a large rectangle. Now the dough has to be cold. Everything has to be cold. It's better. Otherwise, the butter may tend to break, right? through the dough, and you don't want this. So lift it up to be sure that it's sliding underneath. You have to roll it this way as well as this way. And now I have that long rectangle. And now we fold the dough by bringing it in the center on each hand and folding it in two again. What does that give me? It gives me 4 layers of dough. So you work by multiple of 4. When you get to a dough which is totally finished, that is, I'm rolling it 4 times, each time folding, I will have, believe it or not, close to 1,500 layers of bread dough and fat. Now, I grab it, refrigerate it. I have one here which has been refrigerated already, and I've already given two more turns to this one. So I did exactly what I did for the first one. Let it rest an hour or so. Roll it again twice, fold it. Now it's ready to be used. And I'm going to do then our vol au vent. I'm going to roll it and put it on a thick, heavy aluminum pan, line up with parchment paper. As you can see here, I extend it. I'm going to cut it in 2. I have more than enough with this. Actually, I will only use half of that by the time I have all the trimming around. So, the more water you have in a dough, the more elastic the dough is going to be. And at that point, you can extend it very, very thin. Now look at that. I want to roll this to, I don't know, probably less than 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to cut about, not quite in the middle, a bit of a smaller piece here. And as you see, it's a bit elastic. It starts shrinking. Putting it on my cookie sheet, leaving this one on the side. What we do here, 1 layer in the bottom, and we put something in between. I'm putting aluminum foil here to hold the dough on top. I'm doing a bowl with it. I need more than that. So you can do that with actually another type of parchment paper or whatever, but you want a bowl about that size, flat, that we put on top here. This will go on top of it. So I have to roll it back on this. And what I may do first is to cut a little bit of the dough here that I need for decoration. Here. Then roll gently your dough on top of the rolling pin. And you want to wet this outside with water to be sure that it's going to glue well. You can use eggs, but water is perfectly fine, actually, and bring that back on top here. Now what I do, I actually pull that up and extend it to make like a tent, if you want, you know, so that it's holding through. I really use a minimal amount of dough here. What I'm going to do here is to use a round thing. This is the bottom of a wok, and use that, maybe a bit of flour so it doesn't stick on it, and put it there to get about my size, about here. So I cut it with this. I can remove it now, remove all of the trimming. Okay, so we could press the outside. Maybe I'll use a fork to be sure that it's nicely glued together. As you see, I need to put that in flour so it doesn't stick, and to decorate the outside and making sure that it's going to stick well together. That gives you a decorative edge also. So that will glue it together nicely. As you can see the aluminum foil underneath, so it's very, very thin. I have maybe 5 ounces of dough here. Now you can spend a lot of time now if you want doing decoration, or you can use it directly like that, put it in the oven. Here I can cut a little bit of the side here, whoop. That like the dough is still slightly elastic. And then of course you want to glue it with something, and I have an egg here to give me the shine that I need. and we brush all of the dough. You see the dough is kind of tart here, like a drum, you know. And that will, of course, prevent it from getting soggy inside also. Okay, so the top part of it, we're going to glue that little piece here to do like, if you want the lid on top. After it's cooked, what we'll do, we will cut that piece here. So you want to be sure that there is a glaze all over, you know, and it's much better to do it a little bit ahead and refrigerate it before you cook it. If you cook it too fast, you can cook it now, but it tends to shrink. Let the dough relax. The best way is to put it in the refrigerator for half an hour or an hour before you cook it.
This triumph of pastry making is well worth your time to master. The things to remember are, above all, take your time and keep everything chilled. If the butter begins to soften, the dough is impossible to work with. Another good thing to remember is that you can make your puff pastry days, weeks, even months in advance. I've actually had some in my freezer for 2 years, and it's still beautiful. Chef Jacques is going to fill his vol au vent, or pastry container, with braised calves sweetbreads. And here's what they look like. There are 2 kinds of sweetbreads. There's the throat and the pancreas. We have the throat sweetbread, which is kind of fat and long. Jacques prefers the pancreas, which are 2 lobes like that. But whichever you get, they'll taste the same. Sweetbreads are perishable, so when you get them, cook them as soon as possible. Most of them nowadays are all cleaned and ready to cook, but if they aren't a spotless, pinky, creamy color, you'll have to soak them for several hours in several changes of cold water. For this recipe, you want 3 pounds of sweetbreads, and you're to blanch them, which firms them up slightly. As you can see here, you see that's firm and the other was squashy. To blanch them, Jacques sets them in a pan of water. He brings them to the boil and boils them for 1 minute. Then he removes them to a bowl of ice water until they're chilled. Then he picks them over to remove any surface sinews and places them on a cookie sheet lined with a clean towel and sets a second cookie sheet on top. He weights it down with several cans of food or milk cartons, refrigerates them for several hours, and they're ready for braising.
Now it is the time to finish and cook our sweetbread. So the first thing to do, I'm going to put a 2 tablespoons of butter here. The sweetbread have been pressed now. We're going to season them with salt and freshly ground pepper. Always important to have freshly ground pepper. This will take approximately 2.5 minutes on each side, you know. And remember, here we have 3 pounds of sweetbread, which would be probably enough for 6-8 people. Then with that sweetbread, while it's browning, we're going to do the sauce. And the sauce here is made from a brown chicken stock. I brown the bone in the oven, water, and to that extent there is no seasoning in it, no salt, no pepper. So I have that brown stock here, which is reducing to create the sauce. What I want to do is to pick up about half a cup of that stock. This is going to be used in the braising here with some white wine. And that sauce here, I wanted to reduce to about 2 cups. So what we do here, it's about half a cup of the Madeira we add to our stock. Remember that by the time it's finished cooking, most of the alcohol is going to be evaporated, only the taste is going to remain. You can check your sweetbread. See, those are nicely browned, that's what you want. A little bit of a crust on top. Turn them. And now it has to cook again on the other side for another 3-4 minutes to brown nicely. Now it is brown on each side, which is what you want to do. So the process now is to braising. So we're going to add liquid. The liquid, remember, is half a cup of my stock here and about the same amount of white wine that I'm putting around here. A dry white wine that we put on top. I'm going to put a lid Now you want to reduce the heat, and I'm going to braise that gently for about 30 minutes, right here in the back. And then we're going to continue the sauce. Remember, this is still reducing. It's a very lean stock. As you see, there is no fat on top. But what we're going to add is vegetable to it to give a nice fresh taste. And what I have here, celery, leek, and carrot. Different color and different taste. So I want to put first, again, 2 tablespoons of butter, about there. So you see, except for the butter, to saute the sweetbread, and of course a little bit in the vegetable, the stock is very lean, and that's what we want. So this we are going to do so-called a brunoise with that. That is, it indicates a way the vegetables are going to be cut. Nice color, nice texture. I should have about enough here. So what we'll have to do is to put that directly with our butter here. You can bring it right there. Push it into it. We want to saute that for a minute or so. We want also to flavor it with fresh thyme. I have beautiful fresh thyme here, as you can see. And usually the stem of that you can use in stock, but I'll take the end of it, the tender leaves, you know. And if you don't have that, actually, you know, dry thyme is quite good also. So I put that in there. We saute it, but we don't want it to brown. We want it to kind of braised also. So what do we do for that? We put a little bit of moisture, a little bit of water, like 1/3 of a cup. Bring that to a bowl, and we cook it about 10 minutes covered until basically there is no moisture left. I can see that my vegetables are ready now. You can see there is basically no moisture left. That's what I want. The stock has reduced also to a rich brown color. Now, I will test it. Remember, no salt until that time. So if I want to put a little bit of salt, and if I like it slightly darker, instead of putting salt, I'll put a little bit of soy. The soy will put a dash of darker color to it, and at the same time give me a bit of salt. That's basically it now. What I want to do next is another type of flavoring, which is our truffle. This is really splurging, and what I have here, I have black tuberum melanosporum, so-called. This is the real black truffle of Périgord. What I do first is to take the top, that is that very rough skin on the outside. We're going to peel it, and I can see the inside of the truffle, which we call the mycelium, you know, this. And I know that that truffle is ripe, just the color of it, because it has that brown beige color, which indicate a ripe truffle. That tougher part of it, we're going to chop it coarsely, and that is going to be added to the sauce, you know. But I want to add it at the last moment. The reason is I don't want to lose any of the taste, and a great amount of the taste of those truffles is olfactory, that is the smell, you know. And if you do it too long ahead, you lose too much. So I chop that coarsely. You chop it because, of course, it's a bit tougher. And we want to add that to our sauce right here. And with that, we put a little dash of cognac, like 1 or 2 teaspoons at the most. And now our brown sauce, what I'm going to do is actually combine it with the vegetable here. So I have a knife, and what I want to do next is simply cover it, let it steep a little bit. Now the rest of the truffle that I have here, I use 1 truffle. You can splurge, use a little more. I use a vegetable peeler to get nice, thin. This we're going to put on top of our sweetbread for decoration. If there is pieces broken, you can add them to the sauce. So I put that in there, and again covering it maybe with a tiny bit of cognac. We'll put that on top of our sweetbread when we present it at the end. And now the best part, of course, is to serve it. As you can see, this slides very nicely, and the reason is that because I have paper underneath, nothing burned, beautiful color. As you can see here, I have a beautiful brown color all over. This is very light, and I know it's cooked. So what we want to do now, with a knife, you can even hear it, how crisp it is. I will cut that very thin lid, you know. Oh, here it is. And you can see the whole thing will come out. Sometimes the hat comes out first. This one seems to sink. So what you do, you want to press it a little bit, you know, so that it comes into a one piece like that, very crisp. Okay, now our sweetbread are totally braised now. As you can see, there is no liquid left. And those sweetbread, you can serve them whole, or you can actually, you know, take it and cut the inside. Look how beautiful white, creamy color that they have. And this, we're going to arrange that all around, and in the same time inside. You can cut it smaller or of larger piece inside. Let's put this here. This is a rich dish, very classic, but remember, you don't have to do that strictly with sweetbread. You can do that with breast of chicken. It'd be perfectly fine. So here it is. It's nice and full. What we want to do, you don't want to lose all the beautiful crystallized juice that I have here. This is actually what we call a glass. You see, a pure reduction. So, and I want to use it. So what we're going to do, take some of our sauce here, a little bit of it, put it right inside here, that beautiful brown color. And with a flat spatula, it's very good actually to use wood on metal, you know. So I can scrape, and this is the process of deglazing. And finally, I will add that back to the sauce. In addition to that, it cleans up your pot. Give you point with the dishwasher, you know. It's very important. And now my sauce is ready. So I'm going to put it right on top of my sweetbread. You would want to do that at the last moment, remember, because it may get slightly soggy if you leave it too long, you know, on top of the dough. Trying not to make too much of a mess around, and I put more actually around and a little bit to moisten it on top, not more than that. The rest I can put it directly into a sauce boat. I have quite a lot of sauce here. Put back your cover. You know, you want still to show a little bit of your sweetbread. I have a little piece of thyme here that you could put inside here, there, if you want, for color. And remember, above that, we're going to have those sliced fresh truffle. And here is the flavor. Remember that if you cannot afford the truffle or don't want to use it, it's perfectly fine. Remember that if you don't want to use the sweetbread, you can use chicken. And from a brown sauce, it could also be a white sauce.
This is really a marvelous dish, that tender pastry, those meltingly subtle sweetbreads, and that meaty, winey, truffly, wonderful sauce. I'm being rather wildly superlative, but it's such a rare treat to eat something like this. And now, having studied with Jacques Pepin, we all know how to do it ourselves. For Cooking with Master Chefs, this is Julia Child. Bon appetit. Bon appetit!